Hi, hello. So, today I thought we'd do something fun. So, a while ago, 7 months ago, 2 months before Rain Code came out, I made two videos talking about predictions and theories and now analyzing the trailers and everything to, come up with ideas for what could possibly happen in the game. And now, having finished Raincoat, having finished everything there is to do in Raincoat, having seen absolutely everything the game has to offer, I thought it'd be fun to go back to these videos and I guess do a sort of reaction video where I go back and see what um, see what I got right or what I got wrong, see what ideas I had, what I thought was going to be the case. So yeah, let's just get into it. I'm very excited to see like if I got anything right. I hope I mean I don't remember really what I said in anything at all, but whatever. It'll be fun. Let's begin.
Hey everyone, this video is going to be
Oh,
very
Lord.
different from my
That's
usual
me.
content, but I am just so excited about this game, I had to
I
make
was
this.
very excited. I love
Master
Raincoat.
Detective Archives
It,
Rain Code is coming out on June
it was such a
30th
fun
for Nintendo
experience.
Switch.
Making this video
The
was
game is
really
being
cool
made by
too.
Spike
I
Chunsoft
loved
and
actually
written by
like
Kazutaka
making this.
Kodaka,
I'd
who
never
is
done
responsible for the
something like that
Danganronpa
before.
series. As a massive fan of Danganronpa myself, I cannot wait for this game to release. So, in celebration of the game coming out exactly 2 months from now, I wanted to look at all the trailers.
Exactly 2 months from now, by the way. I released this video. Hang on. I released this video on the 30th. That was exactly 2 months to the day that Raincode came out. Before Raincode came out.
As well as trying to predict what kind of role they might play in the story.
Hey look, there's the researcher dude.
So, without further ado, let's get into it.
There's a lot of background
Yuma
details I didn't
Kuko,
even notice
that name
before.
sounds really goofy.
It
He's
does
our
sound
protagonist.
goofy.
He's voiced by Lucian Dodge, who played Hifumi and Kibo in the Danganronpa games.
Yes,
as well
indeed.
as Felix in Fire Emblem Three Houses, and plenty of other roles in popular media. Yuma is a detective, and
My voice is kind of quiet here, isn't it? I feel like I need to... This is a problem I had with my sequel video, too, where I predicted the sequel. I feel like but sometimes I speak a little... I mumble a lot when I'm reading off scripts. It's something I don't do normally. When I'm just talking freely, I feel like I can talk a lot louder, I guess. But when I'm reading off a script, I sometimes tend to mumble a bit. It's something I have to work on.
Has amnesia. Sound familiar? Yeah, one thing I've noticed from
Yeah.
these is that they're really playing up the similarities to Danganronpa with their character archetypes. Which is exactly why I do not trust them. They're making this so unapologetically reminiscent of Danganronpa that there's no way they're not going to flip these tropes on their heads and give us something completely unpredictable.
Actually, let me think. Did they flip any of them on their heads? I mean, we'll see what I talk
Yuma
about
has
eventually.
pretty much the same general concept that Kyoko did in Danganronpa 1.
Oh, yeah.
Amnesiac detective trying to find
Except,
out
I guess Yuma turned out to be a much more, I guess, plot... I mean, not plot relevant, because Kyoko is pretty plot relevant. Yuma turned out to be a much bigger twist than anything Kyoko had.
he's missing. It seems like Yuma's amnesia will be a driving
Oh,
force.
the freeze frame here.
How much they
I'm very good at editing.
emphasize these trailers. This is definitely going to have some kind of big twist attached to it. Off the top of my head, I can imagine Yuma actually being a part of the Amaterasu Corporation before losing his memories, or perhaps being some kind of criminal.
Ooh, that was an interesting theory, actually. I remember... This was a theory that I think a lot of people had back then, too. I feel like I saw a lot of people thinking, oh, Yuma's lost his memories because he's secretly, like, evil or something. The actual twist turned out to be the complete opposite of that, I guess, in a way, but, you know.
I actually don't really know how far Yuma's amnesia goes. Does he not remember anything aside from his name? Did he just forget a specific part of his memory that will come into play later?
That one, yeah.
Is Yuma even actually his real name, or is
Oh, I called it! I called it! Oh, damn! Okay! I got that one right! Is Yuma actually his real name? Hell no. Oh.
He gave himself because he
I'm proud of myself for that.
It might be the latter, since in one of the trailers he literally forgets what the name of his condition is.
Yeah, that scene was...
Do I have... what was it called? Amnesia?
I mean, I guess... Whoa, what was that? That was a weird cut. Hold on.
Do I have... what was it called?
Look, I played the same...
Amnesia?
I played the exact same scene like twice. Like, he gets up, he gets up again. That's weird. Anyway, we're talking about amnesia, right. Yuma's amnesia only took out his... Yeah, he pretty much remembered... He lost everything before waking up on the train. He didn't remember anything at all, so I guess that makes sense why he didn't know what amnesia was.
Interesting direction this could go in. Along with Yuma, we have Shinigami.
Shinigami!
A little ghost who can transform into a human form and is supposedly going to be Yuma's assistant in the game. helping him become a detective and solving the mysteries.
Yay.
According to the official Raincode website,
Oh, I used the pictures from the website.
she's a death god contracted to haunt Yuma. She usually appears in her spirit form. Only visible to Yuma, Shinigami is constantly floating and bobbing along at his side. Though cheerful and chatty, this death god's sense of morality is quite far removed from that of humans.
Yeah.
Her words and actions sometimes
Considering how happy
In
she
the
always
Mystery
was to see
Labyrinth,
corpses, I feel like...
she transforms into a humanoid form and has the power to intervene in matters. She's pretty much going to be the mascot character of this game. She's already been plastered all over the map.
Yeah, she was like the
refers to Yuma
Monokuma of
as
this
her
one.
master, very reminiscent of a certain DR character.
I remember specific. If there's one thing I remember about this video, I drew a lot of Danganronpa comparisons. Which, can you blame me? I mean, it's Kodaka, you know, but...
And she introduces him to the Mystery Labyrinth, which seems to be similar to Persona 5's Palaces, where you travel inside someone's mind and defeat...
Fun fact, I've never actually played Persona 5, but I know about it, so that's why I knew about it for this video. I've never played a Persona game.
Their mystery phantom, a sort of manifestation of that person's true nature. This is also where the Danganronpa-esque gameplay comes in, cutting through your opponent's
I love the
statements to find
gameplay in this game.
contradictions.
Honestly, hot take, I think I prefer the gameplay of Raincode to Danganronpa. It didn't have as many like annoying mini games. It didn't have like the mini games that were actually good in this game. There weren't really a lot of them. It was mostly just reasoning death battles and death matches, and we had the barrel mini game, which was like an actually good Hangman's Gambit. Like I liked it, and it wasn't that hard.
They even do this "No, that's wrong" splash screen.
Yeah, this
There's no way
is
this
very
is on purpose.
Danganronpa. I remember when this first showed up in the Nintendo Direct. This shot, the first thing I thought, like immediately, I was like, okay, yeah, this is just Danganronpa, but like different, because there's no way, you know. Obviously, this was exactly the intent behind it. It was to be as reminiscent of Danganronpa as possible with this specific shot. That was the first thing I thought of when I first saw this.
Shinigami herself is a bit suspicious to me. I'm excited to find out more about where she comes from, or who or what she really is.
Yeah, so am I. I feel like they might, I don't know, maybe they'll expand more on that on the sequel, but all we know is she is a death god, and that's kind of the start and end of it when it comes to Shinigami's backstory. We don't know really where she came from or how she even got inside the book in the first place. So, you know, maybe they'll expand on that in the sequel. Who knows? That's not really something that got answered in the game.
Why does she know so much about the Mystery Labyrinth, and why was she contracted to Yuma specifically? Now,
Well, that one got answered.
let's get into the titular master
Oh boy, let's get
detectives.
into them.
These characters are the ones I'm most excited to dive into.
Yeah,
because
remember
of how
when we were
interesting
super
their abilities and
excited
personalities
for
are.
half of
Each
these
detective has
characters,
a
and then
forensic
that
forte,
half,
essentially ultimate talents, but more
that, yeah,
sci-fi.
these guys.
The first character we have is Zilch Alexander.
Oh, Zilch. I want to see what I say about him. I think I remember some of the things I said about Zilch, actually. But it's funny because he ended up actually... Out of the 5 Master Detectives that appeared in the beginning, Zilch was probably the most fleshed out, even though it wasn't actually him.
His forensic forte is animal investigation. Indeed. What this means is that he's capable of taking control of animals to gather information in places that humans can't go. I have no idea how this can be used in-game, but
Yeah,
seeing as
neither do
Yuma
I.
is capable of using other people's forensic fortes, as shown in the trailers, maybe this means we'll get to play as an animal at some point. Perhaps one of the cases...
Wait a minute, hold on.
Fortes,
Oh no, this is the
as shown in
casino,
the
right.
trailers. Maybe
I
this
was-
means we'll get to
For a second I thought this was Halara on the train.
play as an
No.
animal at some point. Perhaps one of the cases we'll solve will take place in a shelter or a zoo.
Yeah, that would've been a
Control
fun
the
idea,
animals
wouldn't
in
it,
areas that
Kodaka?
influence to normal humans. Looking at this character design, he's absolutely giving me Gundam vibes with
Oh,
that dark
yeah.
aesthetic and all the animals around him. According to his description, he
Again,
does seem
more
to have a softer
Danganronpa.
side just like Gundam. He loves the harmony between people and nature and specializes in dealing with those who would try to disrupt it. He's definitely much nicer than he comes off on the surface. I absolutely love the cat ear hat he has on.
Is he much nicer than he comes off on the
Much nicer
surface?
than he comes off on the surface.
Is he?
I absolutely love the cat ear hat he has on.
Oh yeah, that's really
And
cool.
is that a live snake crawling around him?
Oh,
It seems
yeah.
like he knows his way
Yeah, we never
around taming any kind of animal.
actually saw the snake in game. It's just a thing for the splash art.
Next up is Desuhiko Thunder. His
Yatsuhiko!
forensic
Him that.
forte is
Alright, he actually
disguise.
survived.
He can completely change his body to look identical to that of anyone he pleases. I can see this ability being used to sneak into specific areas by disguising yourself as someone else. Judging by his description, he's definitely going to be the goofy comic relief character of the cast.
Yo,
The
boy,
young
was
man
he.
with a goofball nature who likes hitting on women under the guise of investigation. Desuhiko's goal is to become famous as a mystery-solving superstar detective. I don't know if it's just the wording on that last statement, but it seems like he only wants to be a detective for the fame and fortune it might bring. Also,
Yeah, I also do. I mean, you know, I'm pretty sure that is what happened because he never, Desuhiko specifically, I remember saying he never actually got assigned to murder cases, which means he definitely got like, I suppose you could call them the easy jobs. It's not easy, obviously, but like the easy to swallow jobs, which means he probably did become a detective specifically for the sake of like being famous.
So doesn't the splash art kind of remind you of Tsumugi with all the clothes?
Oh yeah, yeah. Again, with the Danganronpa comparisons. Also, is that Hatsune Miku's wig on Tsumugi's splash art? How did I never notice this until right this second? Um, and also, yeah, Desuhiko's got pretty much the same motif going for her in his splash art with all the disguise pieces.
Clothing pieces flying around him. His ability to disguise himself as anyone could also easily lead to tension in the cast if he decides to go around pretending to be one of the other detectives.
That never
Next, we have
happened, but it would have been an
Melanie
interesting
Goldmine.
idea, I think.
Her forensic forte
Oh,
is
Melanie.
spiritism. She is a spirit medium, which means she can use her own body as a vessel to summon the spirits of dead people. However, in order to summon a spirit, she has to first wear the clothes of the deceased individual. This is likely a limitation added to stop this ability from being too OP. It also matches well with her
Well,
personality.
I mean, not like we ever got to
Glamorous woman
see
with
it.
a keen intellect behind her flamboyant appearance. She's a fashionista whose mind is often focused on clothes. She's quick to like anyone with a body type that would suit her favorite outfits. Again, with the eerily familiar character archetypes.
Well, to be fair, they did flip this one on its head because Melanie had absolutely no importance to the story in any way at all, so
Strangely
I guess
enough,
technically.
the fact that she is so similar to Junko makes me think she isn't gonna be that important. She'll probably
Yeah,
have
she
plenty
wasn't.
of focus and be an interesting character, but she won't be a twist
Yeah, she'll probably have plenty of focus and be an interesting character. Yeah,
villain or anything. She has a
Oh
really
my
cool
god,
looking
we were
design.
so
I love the
duped.
vibrant blue color of her suit and that small bit of it on her hair. Fubuki Clockbird is our next character. And her
Fubuki, I
forensic
love her.
forte is time leap. She can rewind time to change
Also, I never
things.
even noticed this
Vibrant
before
blue color
when I
of
was
her
watching
suit
the
and that
trailers.
small bit
Even
of
though
it
I
on her
used
hair.
trailer footage for
Fubuki
this video and I watched these ad nauseum, I never noticed that the splash art actually moves
Clockbird is our
around.
next
They're like
character.
animated a little bit
And
to see her
forensic
hair is
forte
moving.
time leap.
That's cool. I never
She
noticed
can
that.
rewind time to change things, but after time has been turned back once, it cannot be turned back beyond that point. From a gameplay perspective, this probably means she can only use this ability once per case.
Funny how I thought all the detectives. I mean, she only ever had one case to be focused on. She only, you know. So it's
Her
funny.
description states, because of her upbringing as a lady of the world-famous Clockbird family, she is a bit naive. She has
Although
a
I loved the way they used her power in the game. I loved the. Technically, she had two cases where her power was useful because Chapter 4 also happened. I loved the way they used her power in game. I thought it was really cool. It was definitely a good way of canonizing your failures, I guess, in the sections where you could die. But
peculiar
yeah.
way of thinking, which can frustrate and confuse the people she talks to. It seems like she's going to be similar to Sonya.
Oh my
from
god,
Chapter
again.
2, in that she doesn't really know much about the outside world.
Hi, did you know I love Danganronpa?
Esteemed, probably rich family. Character design-wise, she looks to have a very calm and serene presence. What I'm really interested in is that necklace she's wearing, which seems to have some sort of special trinket attached to it.
It didn't. I
Given
mean,
how they show this thing glow
yeah, it is
in the
funny.
trailers, I'm guessing this is what activates her forensic forte.
I suppose it is. They never mentioned that again. But it makes sense. I feel like every character has some special thing that activates their forte. The only one I can't think of is Vivia, because like Halara has their glasses, and Desuhiko has his bag, and I guess Fubuki has the necklace. Vivia never really had anything like that, though, did he? So I don't really know about that.
The
And
fact
neither
begs the
did Yuma,
question
to
of
be
whether
honest,
the
but I guess
other
he just uses
characters
hands.
also need an external source for their powers, or if she's the only one. Zange
Yeah, again, some characters clearly did need external sources, but other characters didn't seem to. Like Zange has his eye or whatever here.
Eraser
Like, yeah.
looks to be a very interesting character.
Yeah.
His forte is photography.
It just makes me sad that we never got to see the 5 original Master Detectives from the train expanded on.
Which
They just
basically
never
allows
got
him to
anything.
transfer his memories into actual photos on electronic devices such as smartphones or computers. He's described as a quiet old detective with the solemn expression of a battle-hardened veteran.
Hold on.
He never talks about his past, but his style of speech suggests ties to a government organization. So he's a fair bit older than the rest of the cast, and he seems to know something we don't about the true nature of the World Detective Organization. His
Yeah, we never found that out.
character design is very striking, with its glowing red eye, which I'm guessing has something to do with his forte.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously that red eye is probably the exact eye that records what he sees.
He almost
I'm
looks
assuming.
like a villain with the way he's posed on the splash art. I'm almost wondering if he has some kind of tie to the Amaterasu Corporation.
That would have been interesting too. I think, again, I feel like there's so much potential for these characters, but they just get killed off at the start, and we didn't get to really see any of that.
He fit right in with them. Up next is Halara Nightmare.
Halara!
Her forte is
Halara?
post-cognition,
I called them
the
Halara.
ability to see how a crime scene appeared at the time.
Also, notice how funny. I never noticed this back then. I don't think anybody did. This little character bio here never uses any kind of pronouns to describe Halara, which I completely missed. I'm pretty sure I called Halara by she/her pronouns this entire video, which, you know, I had no idea.
Time it was first discovered. So gameplay-wise, pretty much a more accurate version of the Little Thief from Ace Attorney Investigations.
Indeed. Yeah, that. Honestly, Little Thief, definitely, I think. That is what this reminded me of.
This is a very useful ability in case someone tries to tamper with a crime scene or remove evidence later on. Although it specifically says, at the time it was first discovered, meaning there is an interval of time this ability can't see. The killer could still mess with the crime scene before someone else actually finds it.
Wasn't that exactly, like, how we found out something in one of the cases, I think? Because, I mean, in the Nailman case, the reason we found out the culprit was the worshipper was because he accidentally knocked over a can of paint right before the actual first witness came in and discovered the scene.
She's voiced by Amberly Connor, who played Faye in Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Plenty, as well as Toy Chica.
Indeed!
Now, she's always cool under fire and has solved many difficult cases through precise judgment. Halara only believes in money and will not accept a request without payment, regardless of who the client may be. So it seems like she's a very skilled detective who can solve the most complex of cases. Someone who would be very good to have on your super special detective team, but she only accepts cases if she gets paid enough. This is pretty interesting, and I can't wait to see how her character will be fleshed out.
I like Halara. I thought they were pretty good. I mean, I do wish they had gotten a little bit more development. I like that they had the softer side with the cat stuff. I liked that, I like how no-nonsense they were, too. But I do wish we could have gotten a little bit more of Halara.
What is up with those syringe-shaped earrings she's got?
Yeah, I still don't know what the hell that is.
Of all the weird fashion choices I've seen from Ryuko Matsuzaki's character designs, this might be...
I called him Ryu. I called him Ryuko Matsuzaki. Oh my god, how did I not think to re-record that line?
the most out there. Then we have Apex Logan. Nope.
What is your beanie? We're talking about weird fashion choices. What is on your head? It's like a beanie, but it's also a full mask. But what is that?
Not Apex Legends. Apex
Legends.
His forte
Yeah.
is life detection, the ability to locate any living thing within a 50-meter radius. This is pretty useful to make sure there aren't any unwanted eavesdroppers on important conversations. Born to lawyer parents, he lost them at an early age and lived a rough life in the slums from then on. Due to these circumstances, he tends to be rude and tries to solve problems with violence. He certainly seems a lot more antagonistic than the rest of the cast, probably a result of this dark past. He's definitely going to cause problems with his rashness and unwillingness to trust others.
Oh, he caused problems, alright, for the total of 10 minutes he was alive.
Next we have
Was it even that?
personal favorite member of this cast.
She was my favorite. Poochie was my favorite.
Poochie Laughman. She is adorable.
She is. I love Poochie. It's a shame she died immediately.
Her forte is auto.
I wish we could have seen more of her specifically, too.
The faintest noises from far away.
And she seems like such an interesting character, too.
This is useful for the exact opposite reason of Apex's forte, since it allows her to easily listen in on conversations she isn't a part of. However, she needs to focus really hard to be able to use this ability. There's a scene in the trailer where she tells everyone to shut up so she can hear better.
Best line in the trailer.
One of my favorite voice lines I've heard so far.
Shut up.
Best line in the trailer.
Idiot.
Absolutely amazing. Also, hang on, ghosts. How did I not mention the
Voice lines I've heard
ghosts?
so far.
Shut up, you brain.
How did I never even talked about, like, did I not see these before? I guess I didn't. Like, they literally show a shot of Yuma using Vivia's ability.
Dead
I
idiot.
never
There's
saw
one
it.
thing about her description that captures my interest, however. Despite her childlike appearance, she has machine-like composure and mental processing speed.
Oh yeah, I remember when people thought she was a robot? That was an ongoing popular theory, actually.
This, as well as what we've heard from her voice in the trailers, leads me to believe she might actually be a robot or something.
Oh boy.
And yes, I know what you're all thinking. There are some obvious Chiaki parallels with that.
That was
bunny
also
hairpin and
something,
robotic
that wasn't just
demeanor.
me.
Again,
This isn't just me with my Danganronpa obsession. That was something that a lot of people were saying, to be fair, comparing her to Chiaki.
I'm pretty sure they're doing this on purpose to make us believe she's gonna play a role similar to Chiaki,
They were, honestly, yeah, Kodaka probably did want that.
when in reality she's probably completely different. After her is Vivia
Different.
Twilight. His forte is spectral projection,
Vivia,
which allows him to Danny
best boy.
Phantom himself
He's great.
and become a ghost. In this form, he can walk through a wall, disappear, and fly! Well,
Indeed.
I don't know if he can fly, but it'd be cool.
He could fly, actually. Hey.
He has a decadent and aesthetic atmosphere about him, often lying down in various places such as the fireplace at the agency or under the hotel's grand piano. His personality can be described as self-indulgent. He seems much more competent than he lets on, and I have a feeling he'll be one of the smarter characters in the cast.
Oh, he was.
I also just love his forte. He's definitely one of my favorite characters so far.
I love Vivi. He's probably my favorite character in the entire game, to be fair.
Also, this line.
I wanna die someday.
One of the most interesting of the bunch.
Number
Next up
one.
is number one. He's voiced by Sung-won Cho, aka the one and only
Yep.
Rosie D. His forte is unknown. Ugh,
As usual.
of course, there's always one, isn't there?
Except, I'm pretty sure, I mean, does this guy even have a forte? Like, this dude, like, he's just some guy we learn at the end of the game, so, like, does he even have a forte? I don't know. I don't think it matters, really.
Actually, there's a lot about this guy we don't know. He's the only character to not have an introduction on the Spike Chunsoft website. I cannot for the life of me find any info on this guy. Based on his name, he's probably the leader of the WDO or something. I'm definitely interested in seeing where his character goes.
He went, honestly, this number one, never mind anybody. The idea of number one was great. I loved the way it was handled in the game.
The last member of the WDO
Yako!
is Yako Kurio. According to the official description, he's head of the only agency in Kanai Ward, the Nocturnal Detective Agency. An aloof and elusive man, although not a master detective. He is certified by the World Detective Organizations, which suggests he is an excellent detective. That said, he is somewhat weak-kneed, and his agency's policy is to stay quiet and refrain from any overt behavior that might lead to conflict with the Amaterasu Corporation.
Hold on, let's see what I said about
This
Yako.
guy is the only member of the WDO who isn't actually a master detective, meaning he doesn't have a forensic forte. He also seems to be really afraid of the Amaterasu Corporation. One of his lines in the trailer suggests that he may have tried to go against them before and paid dearly for it.
I mean, he did pay dearly. I don't know if it was because he specifically tried to go against them, but, you know, Dr. Wesker, the whole thing that happened.
Speaking of said Amaterasu Corporation, let's talk about them, shall
Let's
we?
talk about them.
The Amaterasu Corporation deals in a wide variety of goods such as
Oh boy,
industrial
I
products,
am
electronic
disappointed
appliances,
by the
and pharmaceuticals,
peacekeepers, to be
all of which
honest.
can be found across all aspects of daily life. On the other hand, many dark rumors surround the company, leading to a saying among detectives: "Kick it in the
Dude,
dust
this
comes
song
off
is
like
such a
wall of
banger.
smoke."
Honestly,
Despite
the
that,
Raincoat
both the
theme song.
government and the World
Raincoat's
Detective
entire
Agency have
soundtrack
been
is
unable to
great.
intervene because of its
I'll probably
security.
start using it in more
Kanai
videos
Ward
if I
is
ever
under
do any
de
more
facto control
scripted
of
stuff.
Amaterasu Corporation and its security department, the Peacekeepers, have taken on the role of the police. It seems like they've completely taken over Kanai Ward somehow. They've even managed to put this place in an endless state of rain, and this rain supposedly affects the human body somehow. They've been in control
Right, that's
for
what they
about
thought.
3 years. The trailers don't give us any idea what their goals are, aside from just keeping the peace, which we all know is a load of BS.
I mean, I guess it was a load of BS, technically. Yomi just wanted power, basically. I mean, the other peacekeepers were pretty much just being controlled by him at the end of the day. Yomi, he's just a deranged psychopath. He didn't really have any specific goals. He just wanted to be in charge.
The only hint we have is that they're researching something. Then there's this part.
Danger.
Those who oppose Amaterasu are unjustly arrested, and cases it deems inconvenient are covered up. They're definitely up to something extremely shady. This whole mysteries are the greatest threat to humanity thing is absolutely a front to stop people from investigating them. The corporation is comprised of 6 leading members. Exactly 6, which, if this is anything like Danganronpa, leads me to believe we'll be taking on one of them each chapter.
It only had 5 chapters, so at the end of the day, we kind of took on, I guess because Guillaume and Dominic counted as 1, so they ended up having 1 chapter. And then the final chapter was Makoto, which means we never, I mean, okay, yeah, and we had, okay, it had 6 chapters because chapter 0 is a thing, and so we had, like, Swank in that one.
First off, we have Seth Burrows, Section Chief of the Amaterasu Corporation Peacekeepers Investigations Team. A mumbling, unhealthy-looking man, he habitually speaks through a megaphone to make up for his feeble voice. He seems to be the most analytical of the group, and he's in charge of interrogating people. His design is pretty unique. All 4 of the Amaterasu members who aren't the 2 leaders wear the same white uniform, but they each put their own twist on it.
I love Seth's coat. I think it looks really cool. And the monocle, too.
Seth wears a flowing blue coat with neon green laces coming out of the hood. Very garish.
Ah,
Next, we
Guillaume, she was my favorite. It's a shame she never got any screen time. It was kind of wasted. I hope she comes back in the sequel. We never saw her die. The game never even implied that she died, to be honest. And Dominic, too. Like, the only characters that we explicitly were told died were Seth and Martina. And, Martina survived. She came back. So maybe Seth survived, and hopefully, since we never actually heard about Guillaume or Dominic, maybe they survived too. And if they did, I really hope they come back. I really do.
Have Guillaume Hull,
They were amazing.
leader of the counter-terrorism squad. A boisterous, fast-talking woman who tackles her work with enthusiasm and vigor. She seems very hyperactive and energetic. Kind of reminds me of Harley Quinn.
Yep, Harley
she wears
Quinn,
a pretty
that's-
basic blue jacket over her uniform, but what really strikes me is her hair. Bright pink with light blue
I love her
accents.
hair. Her design is
Vicky
really
would
good.
Be proud.
Yep.
Along with her is
Dominic
her
is
second in
cool as
command,
hell, too.
Dominic Fulltank. I compared Guillaume to Harley Quinn, but she might as well be Jinx, given how much this guy looks like Cyborg. He is over 2 meters tall, though loyal
Also,
to
I'm surprised my Danganronpa obsessed brain didn't immediately come up with, oh, this dude's suit kind of looks like Ultimate Imposter Byakuya.
Guillaume in her orders, he sometimes has trouble following complex instructions. So it seems he's not the brightest of the bunch, but he more than makes up for it in sheer intimidation factor. This guy's got arm cannons, for crying out loud. He looks awesome.
Those apparently those aren't arm cannons, because they never use them as cannons. They're just like really powerful gauntlets that punch really hard.
Being Guillaume's second in command, he's probably going to be very protective of her. I imagine we'll have to get through him before we defeat Guillaume.
No, we just kind of took them both out immediately.
Next is Swank Katsonel, a prideful member of the Amaterasu Corporation peacekeepers who love money. This guy gives off major tutorial boss vibes.
I got that right at least.
One we've seen the Mystery Phantom form for.
That was pretty
which
obvious,
he's
though.
going to be the first member we take down. His design is pretty neat, with a gaudy gold jacket over his suit and a bright pink tie. Now we get to the top dogs of Amaterasu, starting with Martina Electro, the vice director. She is Yomi's right hand and takes
Who
pride-
expected Martina to be a Chapter 2 boss? Honestly, like we took down Martina in Chapter 2. That was something I think that surprised me a lot.
The trust and affection he has for her. She has a coercive way with words and actions.
Because I
and has
expected her to
no
be
mercy
like
for
the
those who
sub
fight her,
mini boss
counting on
at the
obedience
very
only
end
Yomi
with
and
Yomi.
Paul.
I
She's
expected her
probably
to
gonna
stick
be
with
the
Yomi to the end.
boss before the
But no,
fight.
Yomi just kind of killed her. Well, she's
Although I
alive,
wonder
but you
if
know.
out of all these villains, she might be able to be redeemed at the end.
Yo! Called it! Put me in the writer's room! Oh my god, I am surprised by the fact that I just called that. That's honestly, I've already gotten three, I guess, things right, and that's more than I expected.
There's really no signs of that happening, but if her loyalty to Yomi were to ever get shattered by him being a manipulative a-hole,
I got it! I got it! I am so proud of myself.
I can definitely see her joining the good guys and taking him down. Overall, she seems pretty cool, and she's probably going to play a big role in the story, regardless of
She
if the
did.
theory is correct or not.
Dude, I
Lastly,
can't
we
believe
have
I
the man
called that.
himself, the leader of the Amaterasu Corporation, Yomi Hellsmile. And with a name like that, you know exactly what this guy is all about.
Oh yeah, oh
Despite
man,
having the
Yomi
face of
is
a handsome
such
young
a
man, he is ruthless,
hateable
finding joy in the
asshole.
misfortune of others, tearing people down,
But he's a great
and treating
villain.
his underlings like expendable tools. He rules Kanai Ward with force and has established power within Amaterasu with his achievements. This is what I was talking about with Martina. Yomi's constant mistreating of the other members may very well cause her to turn against him. This guy seems like an absolute sadist.
I did it, dude.
He
Oh
also
my
has
god.
a sword. You know who else has a sword?
Yeah, he has a sword. Why did he never use that? Is that a sword? That might not be a sword. It looks like it's actually just a cane. But it has like a sword handle and stuff. That does look like a lot like a sword. I feel like I can... yeah, we never saw him use that, though.
Yuma. At least in the Mystery Labyrinth. I can totally see a sword duel being part of the final boss fight in this game.
We got a sword duel as the final boss. To be fair, it wasn't against Yomi, but I got that right sort of semi anyway.
Either way, I have the feeling this is going to be the type of villain who will be extremely fun to watch on screen and so satisfying to finally take down.
It was.
Like
Oh my
Junko.
god. Like Jingo.
So that's it for all the characters we've been introduced
Alright.
to so far. Let me know in the comments what you
So, oh look, there's Guillaume and Dominic. I didn't realize we actually saw them in the trailers. Well, I did because I commented below, but I was thinking of Seth. Anyway, we have one more video, the box art analysis, where I took a look at this thing,
Once
the box art poster, and just
organized,
tried to.
I'll
It
start
was a
working
much
on my
shorter
thesis.
video, but it was fun to make as well.
Hey everyone, it's Kuma Link,
Took a
and I'm
minute for the
back with
audio
some
to
more
come in,
Raincoat
jeez.
content, because that one video I made was not enough to satisfy my appetite for speculation when it comes to this game.
I
honestly wasn't
was, like,
expecting
very
to make another
obsessed with
video on this game
speculating
just
when this
yet,
was coming
but
out.
Here we are. So today I'm just going to be going over some things that I didn't get to talk about last time. This video will be much shorter than the last one because there really isn't much else to talk about. But while I was looking for pictures of the game I could use as a thumbnail for the last video, I noticed something odd about the game's box art.
There is honestly, there's still I feel, I mean, first of all, this box art is a complete lie because of the fact that they put all these guys in the middle here.
Well, back in February, I believe, we got a reveal of what the box art for Raincoat is going to look like, and it's pretty cool. We got Yuma and Shinigami in the middle, surrounded by...
Also, I didn't even realize this. I love how Shinigami's tail thing goes around Yuma's arm here. That's really cool.
All the other main characters. But there's a few things about this box art that caught my eye, and no one else seems to be talking about it. There's a couple interesting things about this box art, particularly a few characters that we've never seen before. Starting at the very bottom here, there's some kind of long-haired, creepy masked figure staring right at my soul. Because this person is at the bottom with the rest of the Amaterasu Corporation, we can probably assume they're going to be a villain of some kind.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, yeah, Makoto was like the most mysterious character going in because nobody knew what the hell this guy was about. I mean, this was literally all the appearances he ever made before the game actually released. It was just in the box art. He never showed up in any trailers or anything, so really, he was probably the most ambiguous character.
I'm not entirely sure if they're human or not, given that this mask only has one huge Cyclops eyeball with a big...
Goddamn, did I call that too? I mean, I didn't specifically say... I was... there. I'm not... I mean... maybe I'm giving myself too much credit, but like, you know... He wasn't human. So...
glowing purple. This is a really cool design, though, with the Jack Skellington-style mouth and the lipstick.
Yeah, it
now,
is
behind
awesome.
this mystery individual...
Is that supposed to be... Okay, is that lipstick or is it a tongue? Because now that I look at it better, it looks more like a tongue sticking out. Because it's only coming out from the top. There's no bottom lip or anything, so I guess maybe it is a tongue.
Other members of the Amaterasu Corporation, specifically Yomi and Swank over here. But there's one guy in the back here we hadn't seen yet. This chubby dude in the back with the glasses is one we haven't seen in any trailers.
Random researcher
I
dude.
can't quite make out what his design looks like because of how
who had a weird Amatal fetish, which was... Again with the Danganronpa!
I'm not sure if he's going to be an important character or not, but the fact that they're putting him on the box art and not, say, Martina, definitely says something.
Yeah, that was weird, wasn't it? I mean, again, Spike has always been weird with their box arts, so the fact that I can't even be surprised that they put the random researcher dude in the box art instead of Martina.
Although, granted, this is the same company that put Hifumi, of all people,
yeah,
in the center on the Danganronpa Decadence Collection box art, so who's to say they're not just trolling us here? Moving further up, we see this. Whose finger is this, and why do they have the One Ring on?
The One Ring. I think, and I'm still not sure who this hand belongs to, but I think that is supposed to be number one, or like, and maybe the finger thing is supposed to be like represent like coalescence or something like that. But I don't know.
This is probably number one's hand.
Oh, look at that weird edit! Oh my god!
Not be here. Conveniently enough, the hand on the
it's not. Yeah.
The left hand, meaning we can't confirm from the splash art whether number one actually wears a ring or not.
And we couldn't confirm from the game either because he pretty much never actually shows his hands. Aside from like.
Although if this is number one, that weird glow on his finger might have something to do with his unknown forensic forte.
Yeah, I do think that glow is supposed to represent coalescence of some kind. I don't know, really. I'm still not sure whose hand that is. I'm going to assume it's still number one. And if it's not, then please correct me, because I want to know.
We can also get a better look at Pucci's hairpin, and... Wait.
Ha!
Sami? Is that you? Look at it! When I made the first video, I thought it was just a generic bunny hairpin, but it...
And it was a generic bunny hairpin. It really was, at the end of the day, because the art book actually shows you a closer look at the hairpin. It really is just the basic white bunny hair clip. It's not Usami, but it looks like it, and it was fun.
It really does look like her. They're really teasing us with all these deliberate Danganronpa references. On a side note, I really like this art of all the characters. It really shows off their personalities with the different facial expressions and posing. Now we get to the entire reason I made this video. At the very top of the artwork, we see two, possibly three, we'll get to that, brand new
Oh yeah, oh my god, I remember. I thought the brain was a character of its own.
characters we hadn't seen before. Let's start with this guy on the left.
Yeah, who is this guy on the left? I mean, I'm assuming this is just supposed to represent, like, generic homunculus person, because otherwise, this is not a character. Like, this guy never showed up specifically in the game. So I'm pretty sure this guy is just supposed to represent a generic homunculus.
That's definitely a villain if I ever saw one. He looks absolutely insane with that glowing red eye. Is he bleeding out of his eye? He almost reminds me of Shigaraki from My Hero Academia.
It
Given
does look
they
like
put him
that,
at
yeah.
the very top of the box art, I'm guessing he'll be a primary antagonist for the game. Alongside him,
I mean, the homunculus thing was a very big part of the story, so I guess. But yeah.
we have this girl, who definitely looks a lot less villainous.
Kurumi, okay. Why did they make Kurumi so sad in the box art? That threw me off completely because I thought, oh, like, look, listen to the theories I'm about to make here.
In fact, she looks like she's scared for her life being next to this dude. She's crying. Yet again, we have another Chiaki lookalike, and between her and Pucci, I don't know how much of this is a coincidence. She's got a flower-shaped hairpin similar to that of Fumiko's, some light blue crying.
What did I say? Fumiko? I think I meant to say Fubuki. I think I was supposed to say Fubuki. Did I actually just call her by her different name?
Eyes and a very Chiaki-looking hairstyle. If I had to guess, I'd say she's being held captive by either the Amaterasu Corporation or even some kind of third party we don't know.
Wrong. I was completely wrong on
I don't know if this is
Kurumi.
just a shading thing, but it looks really off.
Wait, what did I say?
Why does her neck look like that?
Oh, yeah, why is her... I guess that was a shading
This
thing.
is just a
Or maybe it was just the fact that... Actually, if I look at Kurumi's character design... Because I don't remember this. Maybe I should look at it. But I think Kurumi had like a neck-high like raincoat that reached past her neck. So I think maybe it is just that.
shading thing, but it looks really off. It probably is just weird shading, though. Now, I did say 3 characters earlier.
Yeah, oh my god. So yeah, I thought Kurumi was gonna be like a torture victim, or she was being experimented on, or she was being held captive, because for some reason they decided to make her look super sad in the box art, even though during the actual game she's generally just a happy ball of sunshine. So that threw me off completely.
So let's now talk about Mother Brain over here.
Yeah, why did I think that Brain was gonna be a character? So why? I mean, I think it is just supposed to be like the whole homunculus thing again. It's supposed to be more
I have no idea
that.
if this is a character or if it's just normal imagery they decided to put here for the sake of it, but it is certainly interesting. The brain seems to be plugged into something with all those cables coming out of it. If this creepy guy is part of the Amaterasu Corporation, maybe they're trying to look inside this brain to find out some important information or something.
That's... I don't know if I like that theory
I wonder
anymore.
if this has something to do with that research we saw in
It
the
did,
Spotlight
to be
trailer.
fair.
Hell, maybe it has something to do with this girl. Maybe the reason she's crying is because they're locking her up and analyzing her brain. Is this her brain? Side note, but what the hell is this thing in the middle? Some kind of golden dagger or blade with an eye-shaped insignia on it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's just the logo. I suppose that's just what that is. The whole eye motif. Eyes were a big thing in Rain Code. Like, every single Mystery Labyrinth always had these, like, eyes looking at you. The whole, like, even, you know, the whole eye motif was definitely something that was prevalent throughout the game. And I guess the blade is supposed to be, like, you know, a weapon.
This looks like something straight out of Miitopia.
It
If you look
does
closely, you
look
can
like
actually
that.
see some kind of design on the blade, but I have no idea if that actually means anything. Another interesting thing I noticed was the text on this box art. Just from a glance, I can make out the word Amaterasu. My something.
I think it's supposed to just say mystery.
Something thus.
I'm pretty sure that's supposed to say homunculus, I think. But that still doesn't look like homunculus. It doesn't look like that's what it says.
Brain, you can't
Oh god, the arrow edit.
actually see the full word, but I think it's pretty obvious what that says. And most interestingly of all, this line down here.
No, stop.
No, stop.
Why did they put that in there? What does no stop even mean? I don't get it. Nobody was being tortured or anything. I guess maybe that's representing like Makoto trying to stop Yomi or whatever. Maybe? I don't know.
I'm not sure what some of these lines even mean, but that no stop is absolutely connected to this girl somehow.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. What? Why did they put that there?
There's also some other text off to the side here, but the image quality is too low for me to be able to read what
Yeah, I'm pretty sure those are just like random numbers. I don't think that has anything to do with the story.
it actually says. They look like numbers though, so maybe it's some kind of code.
Yeah, I don't. Am I an idiot? I feel like this is just random numbers they put there for the sake of it.
Box art is actually split between what looks like 2 different settings. The top half shows us the familiar scenery of dark and rainy Kanai Ward that we've seen in all the trailers, but the bottom half shows a much brighter and sunnier city than anything we've seen so
Yeah, I do like that in the box art. I like that they put the sunny Kanai word of years ago down there. That's pretty cool.
Or maybe this is what Kanai Ward looked like before Amaterasu took over, or does it have something to do with the Mystery Labyrinth? Here at the bottom, along with the actual characters, we can also see some faceless Amaterasu soldiers. Interestingly, they're all wearing gas masks. Could this have something to do with that one line in the trailer about the rain having negative effects on the human body? If so,
maybe. I mean, to be fair, I think they're just regular masks to conceal the soldiers' identities, like stormtroopers. But the gas mask thing, it specifically makes me think maybe because I don't know. It's not like any of like none of the Amaterasu members except for Makoto knew about the homunculus thing, so it's not like there's really a particular reason for the gas mask.
So why isn't anyone else wearing any protection? There's also a lot of interesting buildings here, like this weirdly shaped tower and whatnot.
Isn't that the clock tower? I think it is. And that's the academy, right? I'm pretty sure these are all the places from the cases.
I'm guessing we'll be visiting some of these locations in-game.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, I think I've just about squeezed everything I can out of this poster, so I'll stop for now. What do you guys think about these mysterious
What was
characters?
that?
Squeezed
Hold
everything
on.
I can out of this poster, so I'll stop for now.
What is this
No.
scene? What is this?
What do you-
I don't remember this.
You guys
What is that shot? Am I just forgetting things? Because I don't remember this shot at all in the game. What is that?
think
Oh,
about
well.
these mysterious
Oh,
characters?
look at this. I got to
How
see
do
a
you
little
think
bit of
they'll play into the
Falara and
story?
Vivia.
Be sure to comment below and tell me your thoughts. I hope to make more content on this game as we get closer to release and get more
I didn't make any more content before release. Oopsie. Oh well.
information.
It's
But
fine.
until next time, I suppose I'll have to leave it off here. Bye-bye!
Woo. And yeah, well, that's it. That should be that. So, that was fun. I got a bunch of stuff surprisingly accurate. I wasn't expecting my predictions to be that good. The only thing that I got really incredibly wrong was the whole Kurumi thing, because, again, the box art lied to me, so it's not like I could have gotten anything else. So, yeah, you know, that should do it for this video. That was a solid, like, 20-so minutes. So, I enjoyed going back and looking at this, and I enjoyed, I guess that's just the end of Raincoat. It's over. This is it. Until Raincoat 2 gets announced or comes out, probably, like, I'd say, if I had to guess, it'll be, like, 2 years or something before Raincoat 2 actually gets announced, you know? So until then, that's all for Raincoat content on this channel. And, man, it has been so fun. I've enjoyed every second of it. It's been great. Raincoat was a really fun game, and, it's also, but, you know, everything ends, so at this point, it's time to move on to the next thing. And the next thing, I hope to release soon after this video comes out. I hope to start my next playthrough. So, you know, if you are interested, stick around for that. It's, I'll give a little hint. The next playthrough is something that I've already covered on this channel before. So, yeah. Until then, see ya. Bye-bye.